How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing how to make Sonny Fodera, Gorgon City and Danny Howard's track Remember. Here's a preview of my remake and what you'll have made by the end of the video. Sonny Fodera has been making bangers non-stop for literally like 10 years. You might know him from his tracks Some Days, Asking, Turn Back Time, Today we're going to be covering his track Remember. Sort of like an Ecstasy. This is when I first heard it. I'm sure it's been around before then. But this Solarado and Eli Brown Ecstasy. This is the first time I heard it like on the radio. Such a fucking tune. I need to cover that as well. Anyway, I'm going to be showing you how to make that sound. So this is very similar, but it's obviously a bit different. But it's made in the same sort of way. Let's firstly have a look at the MIDI. So the MIDI just follows the same as the bass. And yeah, we're in the key of C minor. There's not too much to say about it, to be honest. Just a nice sort of classic deep house bass line. But yeah, give that a copy and it'll make it easier for you to follow along on the sound design. So yeah, I'm also using Serum 1, but you can use Serum 2. It's completely up to you. Just to let you know before we get into remaking the sound, this is a preset for my Deep House Volume 1 pack. This pack has over 80 Serum presets. So it's full of basses, leads, pads, basically everything you need to be making the sickest deep house. The link for that is in the description, so definitely check it out. Great, now I'm going to show you how this preset is made. Great, so firstly we're going to start in the sub. So if you come over here and we select this, so it's sort of like a distorted square wave, pitch it down by 3 octaves. We then turn on oscillator A. We then go to digital evolve sweep, put the wavetable position to 116, level all the way, bring the phase and the random down. It's going to sound like this. We then turn the filter on, go to MISC, select German LP, set the cutoff to 149, pretty much just down the middle. Put the drive up to 50%. Make sure A, B, sub, and the piano mode are selected. It's gonna sound like this. We're then going to turn on the noise. So I've got this controlled by a macro, but if I was to delete that, you want it somewhere about 37. Without it, it's nice, but this helps to give it a bit of like that analog feel. Cool, now we can turn on the effects. So firstly we have an EQ. We've got a nice bell boost at 2,730 Hertz. Without it, it's a little more muddy. Because we're also taking out a little bit of the low end, just bringing that low end down like that and boosting the gain to about. We'll then turn on this compressor, make sure it's dragged below the EQ. Select multiband mode. I brought the gain up to about 4.9 and I think I've changed a few of the settings here so you can just drag them. So 111% for the high band, 140 for the medium band and 132 for the low band. Bring that threshold back as well. Then a bit of reverb, decay at 3.1, mix at 27. Then we've added a delay, mix at 26 and selected ping pong mode and we've got it in 1/4/8. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can also see here I've added a macro to bring up the attack, just in case it's too sort of stabby. You can bring that up. Great, obviously if you can't be asked to follow that along, then just check out that pack. Great, and then in terms of effects, I've added this vintage Valhalla reverb. An autofill, this just comes in before the drop. And same with this autofill, it's taken at the top end. Delay. And this washout, again, just before the drop. I've kept that delay in. You can get rid of it. Depends if you want it more washed out or if you want it to be more dominant in the mix. Great, so now we have that, we can move on to the sub. just analog, make it a square wave, and then pitch it down by 3 octaves. Same with the sub, triangle wave, pitch it down by 3 octaves. Yeah, all we have is this filter, MG Load 24, bit of drive. So if you bring that up, it's gonna sound like shit. So make sure it's nice and tucked down. It's just so you can sit and add some low end below that lead. Great, now we've got the lead and bass out of the way, we can move on to the drums. Yeah, these drums are actually quite nice. Something a bit different to like the plain sort of deep house drums. I mean, they're still the same, but they've just got nice shakes and stuff. Firstly, we've got kick, force to the floor, hitting on every beat. So obviously if you're new to the genre, it hits on every beat. And then we've got the clap on every second beat. I've then added that with another clap. And then we've got the hat, the first hat on top, this is on the off beat. Obviously if you're new, copy that. Then another hat, another hat, all coming together now. And then we've got the close hat, so it's like a shaker, giving it some rhythm. On here I've got the Logic 6058 swing, so come over here, bring up your groove pool, and double click that, drag it on. It's gonna make it nice and swingy. You just kind of need swinging house drums because they're so straight down the middle, otherwise it's gonna be really boring. And then we've got a shaker. This is just like a random shaker. And then we've got this ride, which really brings it all together. So yeah, without this ride, pretty flat sounding. The ride really helps pump the track. So yeah, to make the ride, it's really simple. You can basically make 2 notes like this, and then you bring the velocity of this one down, and then you just duplicate it along. And then you add a kickstart or a sidechain compressor. So if you haven't got kickstart, then you can use a compressor. So you go audio effects, compressor, click that, sidechain, find the kick, then you can make it pump. Something like that. In terms of effects, I've got this drums room on the group. So this is all the hats, clothes, shakers, and ride. On the main group, I've got this drum bus, and I've also got this, the glue, and I've got it in full parallel. And this is the exact same as full parallel compressor. So yeah, I mean, you can obviously change. I mean, yeah, no, it's exactly the same as that. I just brought the threshold, sorry, the makeup. And yeah, that is it in terms of processing. And if you also notice, I brought the trim down because without it, it's way too in your face. You always want to bring that trim down a bit, give it some room. Great, and then the only other thing, which I haven't mentioned, is this riser. All of these drums and the risers are from my Deep House Drums Volume 1. Obviously, the link for that is in the description, same website as the presets. So yeah, I mean, it's just a nice riser. So obviously a normal riser is like this, but then if you click it and click R, then it reverses it, so you can use it as a downer. And I've got, again, this kickstart, which is sidechaining it, creating that pumping effect, which allows for like the kick and the hats to pump through the mix. Great guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video and learned something new. I will see you next week.